Tantor with a recap of Georgia Tech's 48-13 victory over South Carolina State. All right, we're going to have to preference this with South Carolina State's a really bad football championship series team. Okay, so they're not even competitive in that. We should have done whatever we wanted to, whenever we wanted to there. And we didn't do that. That didn't happen at all today. Started out bad because we had a 2+ hour delay for weather. So it ended up that the game was played in front of Tantor and a couple of hundred of his friends. It was a very sparse crowd. But it meant that we all had great seats, okay? So we just make lemonade out of lemons there. All right, we'll start with things that I liked. Georgia Tech's offense is just fine this year. Got some athletes. We've got Cooley and Haynes starting at running back, and they are exceptional. They had great games. The offensive line looked serviceable and did a good job against overmatched opponent. Tight ends blocked well. Didn't catch any passes, but they blocked well. Wide receivers caught just about everything in their hands. Rutherford is fantastic. But Singleton, freshman Singleton, has got some serious speed, and he had a nice touchdown catch today, and was basically open all game long. He's going to be fantastic this season. If they just give him the ball, he can do it. So the offense, they're going to score whenever they want to score. So that's a good thing, and that's what we need. Haynes King needs a little work. He's pretty accurate, but he holds the ball too long. And that's what I've noticed. If I'm going to nitpick his game, his throws are late, about a second late. So he's got to throw his receivers open. He's got to throw them before they make their cuts and make their breaks. A good defensive team is going to cause them some problems, okay? But it's something that can be fixed because it's a timing issue, and he can fix his timing issue. There are numerous things that I don't like on this team. Special teams, we'll start with what I did like was punt return was fantastic. The punt team was great because they didn't punt. Sitting there watching warm-ups and everything else, and they have not made any adjustments in Shanahan at all. And hopefully Coach will edit in the warm-ups for Shanahan where he's taken 5 and 6 steps. And it's just any team that takes special teams seriously will block his punts. And there's no doubt about it. So that's horrible, and it's going to be horrible. We blocked an extra point today, which was great. We got penetration up front and blocked the extra point. That's awesome. All right. What I didn't like in special teams, we missed another field goal. So that was 3 straight with Stewart on field goals. Coach Key, he went to the backup kicker who nailed a nice field goal at the end of the game. So, maybe we could look for some changes on the place kicking unit to get us out of the funk that we are in. I didn't like anything about the defense today. The starting defense. We'll preference that too. All right, the starting defense was horrible, and I can't say anything good about it. Defensive line played high, standing up a lot. South Carolina State ran the ball at will today. They were picking up 4 and 5 yards a carry on the starters. Their starters versus our starters, they moved the ball. Okay? If they wouldn't have had a couple turnovers deep in their own territory, things could have been different. They never would have won the game, but the score would have been different. Nothing good happened on defense, okay? We didn't fix any of our issues. We still have a cornerback playing 15 yards off the ball and can't tackle. So we saw defensive backs not tackling. We still saw a cornerback on the wide side of the field playing back 15 yards. If it's 3rd and 13, why are you 15 yards off the ball? No idea. So I put that on coaching. You got a kid that can't tackle, and he's playing 15 yards off the ball on a 3rd and 13, which allows the receiver to do a 13-yard out, catches the pass, easy completion, easy first down. All right, that's coaching. You get that kid out of the game. If you coached him to do that, then you did something wrong. Get the kid out of the game. Let him have a seat on the bench. Okay, You've got safeties and slot receivers not communicating, slot corners not communicating, so that slot receivers are turning them around and having easy slants. Again, a good quarterback and a good wide receiver or a good tight end is going to eat them alive. And then when a guy does catch the ball, you've got to make the tackle. We didn't see that either. All right, the starting linebackers are Fs. All right, and F is in failure. Both of them, they need to find a place on the bench. They didn't make tackles all day long. South Carolina State runs an option. The defensive end would take his man, take the quarterback. Quarterback would pitch it to a running back who would cut in the gap that a linebacker should be in. Linebackers, the starting two linebackers, were not in those gaps. Easily blocked, did not flow well to the ball. They don't play their assignments, and they don't play hard, and then they can't tackle when they do get there. They're both small and undersized, and they got run over. 7, I wish not use names, we'll use numbers. 7 got ran over by the quarterback. Quarterback lowered his shoulder and just ran right over 7. I would play him, but I would have him as a box safety. He is not a linebacker. He's not a D1 linebacker. Sorry, done. 13, can't play. Period. Why he's starting, no idea. The good thing is that we got to see a lot of guys rotating through. And we have 4, we have 3, and we have 44 at linebacker that all 3 of those guys can start. They're vastly superior to 7 and 13. Easily. They made plays, filled gaps. They played in the backfield of South Carolina State. And then when South Carolina State started putting in backups, they really destroyed them. So we have linebackers on this team, which we didn't know last week. We didn't know if they had them. They do. There are 3 guys that play today that can play linebacker that can start for this team. The coaches just aren't starting them. And that's on coaching. That's 100% on coaching. When you have 2 guys starting a linebacker that can't play and shouldn't be starting, that's on coaching. And when we play teams that run, they can't play the pass, they can't rush the quarterback, they can't do anything. So the defense isn't going to start. So let's see, our defensive backs play off too far still, can't make tackles, that's bad. Linebackers can't play tackles, can't play assignment football, can't fill a gap and get run over by the opposing ball carrier. That's not good. And when your defensive line basically plays high and stands up, now they're making some tackles, but they're making them 4 and 5 yards down the field. They are flowing and they are hustling. But when they're not getting penetration and they're not making things happen, and they never sacked the quarterback 1 time today, it's not a good combination. This defense is not a good combination. We're going to give up yards and points this season. And I hate to say it, this is going to be a tough season to watch. It's going to be like one of Paul Johnson's where we'll score 48 points, but the other team scores 49. And that's what we're looking at this year. We're looking at a season where we put up a lot of points, but so does the other team. Until the coaching comes around, and I guess I'm going to be the one guy complaining about how poor coaching is, because there are backups on this squad that can play. They need to be playing over your juniors and seniors that are not making plays. Okay? So, right now we're gloom and doom. Even though we won big, I'm not pleased at all with the defense. There are problems there. There are huge problems there. And I'm expecting Ole Miss to exploit all of these problems. Watch the game film. Make some changes on this team. Please, for the love of God, coaching staff, make some changes on this defense. Tantor out.